Hey man, thank you for sending me the video of the Erdnase change. It's not quite there. It's not quite where you probably need it to be to to have a skill level to where you could perform a hurricane change. Um, but but you're trying at least, and you seems like you're practicing, right? So for you and for anyone else that's happened to stumble upon this video, there are some quick tips that I can give you for the Erdnase change. Because believe it or not, most people don't care. Most people will not recognize the difference between the Erdnase change and the hurricane change. Most laymen that you perform this for would just see one card change to another card, and that's it. All right. So whenever you're practicing the Erdnase change, a well performed Erdnase change is going to be way better than an average or poorly performed hurricane change any day, every day. Let me give you those tips. All right, one, there's just some things that I saw you doing that you probably want to avoid. All right, you push the card out way too far. All right, you push it out so far that it's awkward. It's like almost falling off the deck. All right, you don't need this much space, to get the card out and around. Okay, so whenever I perform it, it only comes up probably this much. All right, and that's even kind of exaggerated. You can get it from more, but if you can't get the card out from this much, it's like a quarter of an inch, half an inch. That's like a half an inch there. If you can't do that, hurricane changes way down the road. All right, because this is like the broadside of a barn compared to what you'll need to do. So again, all right. So whenever you come over, instead of putting your hand on it, moving it up like this, and then pulling your hand back and pushing it, and just doing all this motion, all right. You cut out the whole push forward, pull back thing. All right. As your hand comes over, your pinky is slightly bent, and your pinky contacts this edge of the card, and then as your hand just straightens, you've already pushed it up that half of an inch. That's all you need. It's just from your pinky straightening. That's all you need. All right. So it contacts about right here, and then as it turns over, it just pushes out. So now what it looks like is you just put your hand flat on the deck, but you've already pushed the card out half an inch. Okay. So there you go. Next, you could from here just pull it out and push it over and do your change that way. All right. But especially when you're first learning it, if you want to do it just a little bit easier, probably. After you push it out about that half of an inch, with your under finger right here, hold this card here, and then you'll push these cards back. Okay, so now you've got that half of a card's distance. All right, but the audience doesn't know that you've pushed this part back here. All right, so it'll look like this. You go here, and then you push back, and then so all they see is this. Okay, when really it's pushed back about half the card. All right. Now, again, you pull it back. All right. What you want to avoid is going off this way. You don't want them to see that there's a difference between this card and any of the other cards. So keep it really close. Okay. What you did is you kind of did this. All right. So they could kind of get a sneak peek in there and see the next card, and maybe they don't know exactly how it worked, but they know that you mess the cards around a little bit. All right. So what you want it to be is just real close, real tight, and then reveal it that way. Okay. Also, what you don't want to do that you're doing right now is after you get it out here like this, or after you've basically done it, you use these fingers to kind of pull it back like that, and that's a weird motion. This is really weird. It's like, what's happening? You don't have to do that. All right, you have this finger right here on your left hand, first finger, perfectly good. Just push it back in there. All right, so look, you just boom, you got it. All right, and then push it back in with your finger, and then show that it's changed. Okay, it should all be one kind of fluid motion. Again, practice in the mirror. I mean, you obviously have a webcam. Record yourself. send it to me. You send me a message that says that you uploaded a new video. I'll definitely check it out and comment. Again, yeah, but you do those things. That's not too much to to worry about, and you'll have it in no time. All right. Also, another like little performance thing is if you feel nervous going into it right away, do like a fake one where you're like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna and actually push it up a little bit and say I'm gonna rub it like this, and push it. I mean, I don't know. I don't do that. It's not bad. I've seen other people do it. They'll say, could you imagine that heat could maybe change a card? I mean, you know that we get heat from rubbing a card. We just rub it and it changes. All right. It gets your hands loosened up so you don't have to immediately go into a slight. It just gets it. But remember, the more tense you are, and you have this weird with your thumb in here like that makes it look really tense, and your fingers are all like this. No. The more tense you are, the more they're going to be looking at your hands, If someone comes up to you like this, it's like, you're going to look at it, right? But if it's just like this, just natural, all you're doing is rubbing a card. When it changes, no one's going to look at that, all right? So, have a good, that's the best I give you for now. Whenever you practice this, or whenever you send me videos, use these two cards. All right, one, it's a good difference. Even if you have a crappy webcam, you'll still see the difference, and that way I know you are who you say you are. So do those. Anyone else who's out there wanting to improve their Erdnase change, you can definitely send me a video. I've never really wanted to do any of this. I just keep on getting floods and floods of emails, people wanting to learn the hurricane change, and it's like I was there with you. I didn't seek out to learn. It was a friend of mine taught me, and I practiced. I mean, I've been doing magic for 17 years. So, whenever I learn something, however hard it is for me to learn, I take someone who's only been doing magic for 3 years, 5 years, and it's going to be even harder for them to learn. And that's why, I mean, it would just be frustrating for you to try and do this if you can't perform an Erdnase change flawlessly. So do that. Send me your videos. I mean, if you're really good at the Erdnase change, you might have a chance to learn the hurricane change. But if you can't, if you think it's beyond your scope, you're like, well, I don't want to, just because I haven't been doing magic for 17 years, I mean, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, prove to me that you can do this, all right? And because this is the simplest color change there is. If you do this flawlessly, it'll look like minutely different than the hurricane change, all right? So, I mean, to an audience. The only reason that people like us, like nerds, even learn this kind of crap is because it's what magicians like. Okay, we don't do this for the layman. We don't do this because it looks that much better. It is way too hard for what it's worth. The hurricane change I'm talking about. The only reason we do it is because we want to impress our other geeky magician friends. It's not going to impress any girls. It's not going to impress any people who are going to pay you any money to do magic. It might a little bit, but for the same money, the Erdnase change will get you just as far in 1/100th of the time. All right, peace out.